my time for a little second. Let everybody roll in. Like whenever you got like chia seeds in the drink, like and when I got smoothies, and I feel obligated to chew it like as I drink. Like you gotta chew it too. Shout out to my mama for being more aware and getting the brethren some good, matter of fact, some good mama chia. So look, and as I'm not saying this is the best drink ever, none of this type of stuff. I'm just showing y'all what I'm drinking in this moment. You know, for the health police and people who just like to take what they see and just run with it, like as if like, oh, he's showing us this, so he must. Just blackberry hibiscus got the omega 3s in it. As a matter of fact, don't rush away from being a mama's boy, daddy's boy, mama's girl, daddy's girl. You know, bask in that relationship. Without, of course, not in a hindering type of way. Of course, like say for instance, like I've been got out of my mama house. It's not a relationship of like let me stay up under like that, but it's still like a close relationship and still like you know, in a non-hindering way, being a mama's boy to a certain extent. Because like thinking about the fact that my dad has transitioned, and like if he was here, man, and of course he's here in spirit, but as far as like interacting in flesh, it's like I would really want to interact with him in flesh. So why my mom is still in the flesh. I'm a lover and all that while she's in the flesh. Love each other while we're here. I don't see everybody popping in. I don't see no comments. I guess y'all just kind of rolling in without commenting. It's all love. It's all love. Going for sure want to speak on the hives, dealing with spiritual growth. The other night I had a strong case of it, and I'm like, oh, there's some bed bugs in here, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm being back home. And what's really crazy got me tripped out because I'm like, here it is on my LA journey. I've been sleeping sleeping in my sleeping bag outside. And my health always been good, skin good, everything good. And then I go to sleeping in the house, and now I got the hives. It's like what they do that? Which that is possible because to an extent of like, well, these and shit like that carry these little bed bugs and all that. Can't see comments. Yeah, let me see if there's a problem with that or. All right, so now it's showing. Let's see. Make sure everybody make some noise, hoop and holler. Make it do what it do. All right. Matter of fact, a reminder: if the information in this video gets to a point where you feel like this brethren deserves a donation, remember, don't do the super chat. Just send a donation to my link. Instead, my link is under most of my videos. But that is greatly appreciated. And again, only if warranted. If this video warrants that. If not, don't send me a damn thing. Now, I know I am abundance and prosperity. I don't have to squeeze it out of y'all. That's the thing with being abundance, you know what I'm saying? Like, not having to squeeze it out of every little situation, Because I even had to catch myself recently with, the way I've been kind of working, which is part, like, it's been mostly passion, But every now and then, like the thought of doing it for the money hops in. It's like, ah, nah, it's like I want to be doing this because I feel passionate about it. As far as like doing my videos. Now, getting into it, I again caught the hives the other day real bad. It was probably about, I want to say 3, 4 days ago, which it was kind of like a little, almost like a 2 day stint, maybe even 3 day. I'm talking about just full body itching. And with any and all of our diseases of the body, it starts off as an energy first and then turns into something physical. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a thought, then physical. Like everything is a vibration, or unseen vibration, quote unquote unseen vibration, then turns into physical. Same thing like with the molecular structure of certain crystals. It has this unseen blueprint and lattice structure. You know, then it manifests into something physical. So I'm gonna speak to a few and just also ascension symptoms in general. Because we having a spike in energy right now, and just like a computer, when you downloading a lot, things going on, you gotta give the computer a certain type of rest. You can't overwork the computer, things of this nature, because the computer mimics our body. Matter of fact, yeah, peace and blessings, y'all. Uh, M. Dot Dane, beautifully eyed butterfly, Benji Block, blessings, blessings. Uh, so with again with our ascension process, with a lot of this energy, matter of fact, because we just stepped into this equinox energy, and with this equinox energy, matter of fact, to just speak on it a little bit, because this is what I'm uh adding to my tablet right now. you know Hope y'all can see this pretty good. But like like the stage where we go from March 21st, to June 21st to September, September 23rd, the equinox. But these are portals, you know, right here, right here, right here. Then at the bottom in December. These are all portals, and that's why, these times passed down as like, oh, let's the summer solstice, the winter solstice, or the equinox, let's have some little ritual, get together, or do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, reason why most cultures deal with that in essence, because that's portals being open. And matter of fact, speaking to a portal being open, I was watching Santos Bonacci videos, and speaking of, like, the word April in Latin stands for like opening, and the word cardinal, like the cardinal signs in the zodiac, cardinal stands for hinges in Latin. So like a door opening, and what I'm saying, in April, is around that springtime, where that door opens. So it's a bunch of portals being open. And with certain portals being open in our bodies, it has certain physical aspects that come along with that. And let's see. In most cases, so what I found out, like, if you're experiencing the hives, on a high level, it's because of emotional clearing. Because matter of fact, right now we're going through, clearing energies, getting energies out of our body and bringing them to the outside. And matter of fact, our skin is the biggest organ, on or in our body, however you want to look at that, you know, and with that emotional change, that emotional release, sometimes physical things happen. I mean, just like looking at how I spoke on the organ healing and the sound healing, like you got for the lungs and for the liver, like these different sounds. But different organs deal with certain energies, like your lungs deal with courage. So if your lung health is not up to par, you're gonna lack a little courage, Matter of fact, and you could kind of see too a little correlation, which, your throat chakra doesn't deal with just courage, but, with healthily speaking, you got to have the courage to say, what you're feeling and say what's on your mind or say what's in your gut, however, but you got to have that courage. And the lungs deal with that area. So when the lungs are unhealthy, you know, you operating from a fearful place with less courage. We got the kidneys. The kidneys deal with gentleness. So if the kidneys and gentleness is just one virtue out of many different aspects, but with the kidneys it deals with gentleness. So if the kidneys is unhealthy, then you're gonna kind of have might have like a ungentle vibe, like that polarizing opposite vibe. The liver deals with kindness, somewhat like gentleness, being kind to one another. You know what I'm saying? When the so gentleness is like how gentle, like you could be harsh or you could be gentle. And then kind is like being kind to somebody, or like not being kind, just to get it in perspective, because they do run close and meaning the same thing, but it's again Babylon, the English language. It's like that. But the liver deals with kindness. So if the liver is unhealthy, you're gonna kind of have this, unkind to yourself, in essence, and others. Because think about it too. When your liver is unhealthy, in most cases, you're being unkind to yourself in the essence of drinking all that alcohol, messing up your liver. You're not being kind to your liver. But it correlates with that energy as well. Let me stop. All right, I'm gonna get back to that. That is a good question. No new crystals at the moment. I'm actually, when I go to Baton Rouge, I'm gonna get some more crystals. Uh, just looking up. I would say honestly, like the books, like the Tao, like this Tao book I got. Where it speaks to like organ health, and again that's why I get the situation with the sounds that relate to the certain organs. But as far as like a certain literature, honestly, I tell everybody a realistic point, like going on YouTube, Google, and going for what in essence, and letting your heart resonate with whatever you come across. How you Google something and you could just feel like, God, this website's some trash, and the people who made it lying or whatever. Like you could pick up on those energies. And of course, when you new on your growth, you may how can I say, may feel like it's like more confusing, or like not knowing which way to go. But if you stop, really trust yourself, you're gonna bring yourself in the right direction. Yeah, but and so back to the different organs. The heart. The heart deals with love, joy, happiness. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, and also correlated to Leo energy in essence as well. In the sun. But whenever the heart is gonna be unhealthy, that's when loving yourself is gonna be out of whack. Being joyous and happy, enjoying life, like that's gonna be out of whack if you got heart problems. And then with the spleen deals with fairness. Being fair with somebody or being unfair and sneaky. And matter of fact, the spleen chakra deals with people attaching little energetic hooks onto you. So in essence, that has to do. You could kind of see the correlations where cause say for instance, where you would hear the spleen deal with fairness. Well, where did you get that from, and how does that make sense? But when you start to just get knowledge from all these different places, that's another thing. To the person who asks about, again, just getting as much knowledge from the different places that you see. Like here, like hear some people out. Like you come across a video I talk about sound healing, hear it out, see what they're talking about, see what resonates with you. You know what I'm saying? Just by looking at it. But you see how everything, the information correlates with each other. You know, because again, speaking to the spleen chakra, dealing with that's where the energy vamps hook on to, and the spleen deals with the energy of fairness. And you know, somebody being unfair, they trying to latch on to your energy, eat off of your energy, pull themselves up. But again, back to the hives. So if you're dealing with the hives, or if you have dealt with the hives recently, you know it has to do with, again, getting over some emotional energy. Also with dealing with small hidden fears. You know, getting over those little fears that's hitting. Now, there are also different aspects of it. So, say for instance, dealing with the mental body. You know, your mental body. Let's see. So all the little thought forms of being hurt in the past, and you know, just any type of harmful thoughts in the mental, when that is cleared, that could be a case of, you know, why you got the hives. On the emotional level, uh, clearing energy of discouragement emotionally, you know, and again releasing old emotions as well, like, because that's what I got from my higher self as well. As I came across the information, like what I was told for my situation was like, hey, yeah, you just been clearing these old emotions, you know, because matter of fact, I'm back home, back you know, where I grew up, where I was you know, where my bodysuit was quote unquote born, not born, but you know, where my bodysuit came out at. You know, so I'm dealing with, you know, cutting the old cards, cutting, you know, energy that no longer serves me. And with the equinox energy, you know, helping, you know, that portal open, it kind of pushed it along and just, you know, really helped for a strong release. You know, and that's what had me with the hives, you know. And then on a physical body level, it could mean that you are, let's see, so basically, like extra energy in the lymph nodes and in the integumentary system, which is like the hair and skin. You know, in a like I say, so any blockage or like stored energy, again, that no longer serves within the lymphatic or the lymph nodes, or within the integumentary system or the hair and skin system, you know, when you clear that out, that'll also bring the hives about as well. And like letting go, like just getting to that place of surrendering and letting go, you know, with the universe, that will also provoke, you know, the highs. But for the most part, it's like getting over emotional block that's like a hindering block from your past, you know, and just has to do with fear, you know, like fear of letting go something emotionally, in essence, like all that together. Like, you know, when you kind of leap over that obstacle, you know, or as you're doing it, you may end up catching the hives, and that's what the hives are coming from. Now, just matter of fact, let me see what y'all talking about. I feel a surge in my head. Matter of fact, I was gonna speak to that because, you know, some people, some of us are further along on our spiritual growth. Some of us are kind of just having that first aha moment. You know, some of us just seeing 11:11 for the first time. Some of us tired of seeing 11:11. You know what I'm saying? We all on different parts. So like if you feeling a tingly feeling around your, your head or your crown chakra, like a tingling vibration or a little crawling sensation, it's most likely your crown chakra is opening up right now. So that may be the vibe with that. Ear pain, uh, but that's just changing in your hearing area. As a matter of fact, like, with our extrasensory perception, we got these clear audient, clear sentient, clear cognizant abilities opening up. So say for instance you might start hearing things a little funny, might start hearing a white noise or just that beep, just that silent, you know what I'm saying? Which in essence is kind of what the ohm sound stands for in essence. That ohm is just like that. Oh, like it's the vibration that continuously vibrates and permeates throughout the universe. But and two, which is an interesting aspect of like was also, you know, our inner universe is projected outside of us. So in essence, you like how can I say, hearing things comes from light signals and stuff like that. So like when people are deaf, they kind of get like that little, where they only hearing that inner noise in essence. But to an extent, that's what the only noise that truly exists in essence. But again, yeah, you may have like or audio dyslexia where you're hearing somebody but you didn't really comprehend or hear what they said. You may go through you may have that situation as well. And also with eyesight, down to seeing little white orbs, or matter of fact when these portals opening, you may catch little shadows out the corner of your eye. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing to be afraid, because another thing with being fearless, and you see how going through each stage of your chakra why is important. How I had to learn the importance of like root, like work your way on up. Because when you start off on your spiritual growth with grounding your root chakra, and building up, you're gonna always have a strong place of courageousness, and never really fear parts of your spiritual growth. Because that's what'll hinder you if you're fearing any aspect of your, all is, everything is you. Everything is you and me. I am you, you are me. Like everything is, so to be scared to learn about a certain aspect, or to, whatever the case may be, it's like it kind of places a somewhat ignorance on us, and kind of stagnates the growth to a certain extent. Now also some of us may experience certain waves of emotions, where they go from crying, like this little part in the movie making me cry, like like crying easy, or getting angry easy, falling into a deep place of depression. Remember, like it's energy is being worked on in us. So it's certain things being brought to the light, certain things being transmuted, moved out of you. Just it's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Just think of your body like as above, so below. Like Osmosis Jones, like it's little people working in you right now, little cells doing all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So just trust the process. Have patience. Resilience. Nothing bad is happening, because again, we all going through different parts of it, of our spiritual growth. Yeah, if you experience any of those sudden emotions, don't fight it. Feel emotion. Breathe deep. Just allow it to be through. You know what I'm saying? Until the next thing you know, it's gonna be gone. You know, Gotta allow energy to do what it do. As well. Like, cause we come across, like at the beginning of my growth, I used to always bring up of how like I'll meditating religiously, eating good, everything. But then I have certain days where it was just like, like a bunch of noise will pop up out of nowhere, a bunch of negative thoughts, and I'm like, damn, what the. It's like, when certain portals open and certain ascension energy comes through, it's certain little energies being transmuted through us, like, and being brought back up for, in essence, for review, in essence, like, all right, should we be keeping this or throwing this, keeping this or throwing this, you know what I'm saying? And not so much throwing as much as transmuting, because remember how I talk about, you're not throwing away uh, as above, so below. Just like they throw away trash, and then all of a sudden you just got a place with a bunch of trash piled up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of recycling, you know, that quote unquote trash and turning it into something that's a reusable energy. In essence, you know, channeling that aggression towards my dad molesting me as a little kid, and channeling that energy, that anger and aggression towards the passion of making people aware of those situations so that won't happen to them. You know what I'm saying? I could use my aggression, in a place of passion, and to shine a light on that thing that made me aggressive in a negative way. You know. So it's that aspect as well. Matter of fact, let me stop and check y'all out. See you. Blessings, y'all. Though, Tori Indigo. Everybody. Yeah, naturally, Malik, the lymph nodes, was swole. Again, that's the clearing out of old energies. In most cases, like a letting go of a certain fear in the emotional area. No shops in Opelousas or Lafayette that I know of. I go to Coyote Moon in Baton Rouge. That's my little spot there. Matter of fact, I gotta mosey on over there possibly tomorrow, because it is Southern University. It's homecoming. Matter of fact, I'm homecoming out. Got homecoming within my home city, the high school, then the college. Matter of fact, shout out to old Devery from Opelousas. While I'm on my human shit. you know. Opening third eye feelings, sometimes you'll feel like you got pressure. Sometimes in the frontal lobe or in this area, sometimes there's pressure within your brain. I could feel it coming from in the middle of your brain. Just feel like something is growing or inflaming, but it may be the pineal gland, opening up, shaking some calcified, how can I say, just shaking some calcification off of it, you know, and that may give a little feeling of like pressure. When you think of pressure in the brain, think of like if you ever sneezed and stopped it, and you felt all that air, and matter of fact, cause all these little pathways is connected, where you could feel the air coming out of the little thing in your eyes that's connected to your nasal passage. It's like that. Yeah, it is unhealthy to try to remain, like, it's unhealthy to, I mean, I ain't say unhealthy in essence, but I mean, because I do feel like some people have their places in certain areas that may be a little more polarizing. Just looking to the fact of, you got people who meditate in the mountains, and you got Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got these polarizations, but yeah, it's definitely about balance. It's about staying in that middle place. You know, They think about you know, God became weak after the seventh day and needed to rest. That's why we call 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? But you also think about the seven and resting, and you look at a pH scale. The middle gonna be like the seven. And kind of related to that day of rest, and also the seven in the gematria format is where the G and the T is at, I think. But oh, a matter of fact, back to that, cause somebody said something about eating meat. Can you speak on vegetarian and veganism and Ascension? Cause so eating meat is something that's any and all things in moderation, and being unique to yourself, and unique to your situation, wherever you're at. Because at the end of the day, we all could be breatharians and don't have to eat. You know what I'm saying? Which we growing towards that place. You know what I'm saying? Like in the next, 100 years, you're gonna have a lot of breatharians. Like, and really visibly, like, well, it ain't gonna be just that. Oh, well, it's said that some of these yogis go without, like, nah, it's gonna be like a bunch of motherfuckers walking around here not eating. You know what I'm saying? Like on that level strongly. And I gave the next 100 years to know, because I know for sure. Like, looking at the fact of where just in my last little, in the 30 years of me being on Earth, I watched things go from a Nintendo to this tablet I'm talking on with a touch screen. You know what I'm saying? So if things could make that much of a jump, in these times, you know what I'm saying, I imagine as this energy continues to pick up, it's only gonna get to a place where we're just gonna get more and more light within our being, and get away from that. But again, with the meat eating, this to each his own, with any and everything on our walk. You know, the only thing is with like too much meat, for sure. For one, it starts to calcify the pineal gland. It starts to kind of create a over aggressive vibe. Kind of like literally like how what they call a meathead. Like like football player. Like all I care about is physical activity. And again, and which to each his own. Again, I walk, cause some of us may lack that vibe of you know feeling like exercising or being in our body, and eating meat to a certain extent would help. Not saying that's the only thing that would help, but that is one thing that could. So again, for me, it's an energy thing. Like, I could feel my consciousness being on the wavelength of the chicken I just ate or the cow I just ate, you know, and there's a balance to this, because of course there's divinity in animals, but in the case of, well, most of the animals that they use to make food out of, though, you know, they, for one, most of them are clones, so they're not really even necessarily real animals in essence, you know what I'm saying, technically. But like, if you're gonna eat meat, eat like the farm raised, you know, animals, like the animals that don't come from these big, you know, like just the acres and acres of all them cows and chickens that they just slaughter, and they shitting and pissing and dying on top of each other, you know what I'm saying, and all that get pushed into your hamburger too, you know what I'm saying. Like, so it's just more just cleaning up and just being more aware. You don't necessarily have to be a vegan, because some vegans operate like a meathead, if you want to be. know. Well, because in essence, they think because oh, I eat vegan food, I'm better than you. You know, that's a meathead perspective in essence, right? So, you know, it is a balance, you know, of, the healthier vibe, you know, and because they're, you know, it depends on where you're at and stuff. But like when the options are presented, again, like yeah, the healthiest thing is to go without meat, and there are options, you know, like where I eat black beans and chickpea, you know, that's where my protein come from, you know. In fact, you got bodybuilding vegans, so you know, and the fact that people use the analogy getting stronger than the ox. I'm trying to get stronger than the ox, but people forget what did the ox be eating? You know, the ox eating just grass. They'll bust your ass from eating just grass. So you know, it's just you know, you just see the balance of you know everything. All actions have a opposite and equal reaction in essence. You know, you eat meat, you gonna have this energy come with it. You don't, you know. But again, like on a health scale though, where you know you gotta watch yourself, is that it does calcify the pineal gland, you know, and you'll get to a point of like you know again being more like an animal with you know let's say your pineal gland open, but you know live and let God, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you know, that's all just different little things, man. Just do your best. Just do your best to be your greatest version and you doing great. And our whole spiritual walk in essence too is about learning how to control our thoughts. Like it's about manifesting the reality that we want. A lot of the reason why we feel like you're subject to having I gotta eat this, I gotta eat that, because you're not you know, controlling your thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, for instance, like with people, how I bring up the example when people talk about weed being so bad, this and that. I don't fall of it. Like, in essence, somewhere in my back of my subconscious, I know on a human level that, yeah, smoking does harm the water in my body, but I don't take it to that extreme of like, bro, every time I smoke, man, when I smoke this cigar, bro, it's gonna fuck me up, like, you know, because then you creating that, you know what I'm saying? You creating that intensity of sickness by feeling like that. So again, beware of, you know, how people fear monger about eating certain things and all that, you know, somebody talk in your ear long enough about, you know, water from a certain place, you know, it can make you again. And you see, at the end of the day, it's like the alchemy of the mind, you know. Even down to that post I just made, where you know we got all these receptors in our body. And I say receptors, but I forgot what's the technical term for it. But just where all these energies, like you know, THC, all this exists within us. That's why I always use the terminology of like smoking is a prop in the matrix for me. You know what I'm saying? Just a prop. No, it ain't. I'm just some oral fixation to activate the THC that's already within me. You know what I'm saying? Like a prop. You know, like I have no problem admitting that it's oral fixation of smoking. That's just my prop I use in this matrix. We all different, you know. Some of us don't like to use cannabis in that manner or at all, you know. Which cannabis is a healthy thing, you know. But you see that whole vibe. But now speaking back to the type of symptoms that you may have going on right now, also dealing with. So we're just talking about food and eating meat and all this. Strange cravings. You know, you may have an increase in appetite or you may have a strong decrease in appetite. You know, it depends, you know. Some of us you know, again would be on the detox, moving from that Virgo energy of, you know, organizing, detoxing into the Libra, you know, balancing things out. You know, because matter of fact, when you detox, you're detoxing, you balancing things out in essence. Because you know, when you clearing organs, you want to balance that out. That's why, matter of fact, for that organ sound healing, you know, you go through the organs, and then on the last one, you imagine yourself, you know, it asks for you to be laying down and to picture a rolling iron going over your body and flattening you out, but like basically distributing the energies equally, the healing energy equally throughout the body, you know. And so again, back to right now, you may be having strange cravings. You know, you may go back on a diet. You may mess around and eat, you know, some blueberry ice cream, or mess around and eat, you know, a Snicker bar, like some of those unhealthy things. Like I always, and I used this analogy before. It's like you kind of like a pregnant woman. You know what I'm saying? You might want to take a pickle and dip it in some ice cream or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like not that outlandish. You know what I'm saying? But it could get to those levels. You know, but again, it's just energies, and again, it could be down to something that your body asking for, but because your mind is so fixated on being a strict vegan or a strict meat eater, you know what I'm saying? Either way, you know, your body like, all right, now we need some of this other shit. So I'm just about to push this strong craving through the body and make you feel like a crackhead if you don't get what we asking for. You know what I'm saying? So you have that vibe, but it depends. You know, it's different situations to the craving, because you could be craving something but on your shadow vibe, where it's like something that is really or extremely unhealthy for you that you're craving, but in essence to show you that shadow of yourself, like, you see how much you craving this, man, you might want to cut that out, you know. So it could be in that light, but a lot of times with dealing with the ascension energies, like when portals open and we kind of dealing with a fluctuation of energy, it's just the body kind of just getting, you know, what it needs, and sometimes it may need no food because you've been eating too much already, or sometimes it may need a little food or more random food because you're too tight. Like I say, for instance, I have this type of diet sometimes where I'm just too like Capricorn practical, like hummus and black bean chips, hummus and black bean chips, and that's like all like the only thing I eat every day in succession. Is like my body like, all right, food, like eat a banana, like eat something outside of this, you know what I'm saying? Like because it is about holistically feed, you know, getting all kind of nutrients into the body, you know, so it could operate. You may also go been have been experiencing, or right now experiencing restlessness, or feeling like, you know, like you don't have enough of energy, or like you're not really sleeping enough, even down to possibly, you know, because you the energy fluctuating in your body so much while you trying to sleep. You know, matter of fact, back to the food cravings, you know, you might, so it tied into the food cravings with the restlessness, you might wake up out of your sleep to go eat some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think to something that Osho said, and that's why Osho teachings is so fire. Because it's like, bro, whatever is what is. You know what I'm saying? If you find yourself in the refrigerator with a turkey leg in your mouth, that's what is. You know, it is. Like, you know, as far as like he's speaking of, like, where if you wake up in the middle of the night, or if you happen to eat something that you didn't want to eat, you know what I'm saying? Like, just go. It is what it is. Just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't regret. You know, and a lot of times it be our spirit asking us to do that, but we so rigid in our thoughts and in our you know, our subconscious programming, that we don't, you know, we don't vibrate towards these things. So our body and our intuition almost have to force us into these places, and that's why a lot of times it feel like something that may be bad, because again, you know, your egoic mind and programming is in a dogmatic place of like any type of craving is something coming from a bad place, when in all actuality is like maybe like a craving for something that you've been dodging, you know, in essence. But I know I was talking for a nice little while, y'all. Without looking, I got two videos of Linda Owens on shungite and how to use it. And the third eye, matter of fact, just briefly, you'll feel like some little tingling feeling. You may feel like a pressure in your brain, and also you also get that white noise or that like that little, I call it like that little dog whistle in essence. Like you catch that vibe, that mean it's open because it's picking up on like the more subtle vibration. So that's why to get to that vibe. I feel that. I know I don't. Only one true jelly. That situation I'm unfamiliar with. I might catch an insight on it though. That's funny how that is. Like me as a human, I read it and like I don't. But then as I'm sitting here, my high self would be done like, bloop. That's the answer to that question that girl just asked. You know what I'm saying? Like on some shit. So let's see. All right, blessings. Matter of fact, as always, blessings to the domestic family. Blessings to the international family. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. See the brethren from sitting there, the black boy. Blessings. Definitely got to come out there to Australia and see what them vibes about. And being for yeah, man. It's again back to the diet thing. Is about the balance and what's right for you. You have a particular, you know, down to our zodiac signs, giving us certain cell salts, and that affects what type of sicknesses we have, or how healthy we are in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? Like all that correlates together. Matter of fact, when I think of myself, the way I like my health situation and how I carry myself, I kind of got like a Bobby Hemmett approach mixed with a little Layla Africa and Dr. Sebi. You know, throw some of the ancient Tao teachings in there. Mantak Chia, doing the proper breathing techniques and stuff like that. And that's basically my. As a matter of fact, I use the breathing techniques as part of like I think of like when Bobby Hemmett talk about like I don't know what it was he spoke to. It's like shit. I fuck around. I drink an orange soda, and clear that shit right up. You know what I'm saying? Because again, bro, it is about that matter. Like that's why like as much as I like be healthy. Like I know of the magic that exists. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to just be like just I'm gonna just go along with it, even though I know all is mine and that my thoughts could create everything. I'm gonna still be scared and just eat just vegetables all the time. Like no, I gotta try this out again. Like for me with the meat, I did see a difference, so that's why I stopped. You know what I'm saying? But like with other little things that I eat, man, like it's like, bro, it ain't gonna be that unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like I could still hold my vibe up and eat these things. You know what I'm saying? In which I do. I mean, I've proven the fact that, like how I drunk coffee throughout my growth. You know what I'm saying? Like having those little vibes, like late. Matter of fact, and all at what's considered to be the wrong time. Like I'm drinking coffee, eating like sweets that has the quote unquote bad sugar and the eggs and milk in it, you know what I'm saying, late at night. It's like, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I love thyself. You know, like, love me. It is what it is. I'm definitely not gonna hate myself at this moment and cause negative energy in my now. It's like, nah, I'm gonna stay. dust myself off and try again and again. Everything happens for a reason too. That's another reason why it's like I look to these things as like, like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going through the energies. And of course, you do have to be aware that in some cases it may be, you know, some some stagnant energy or some old energy trying to pull you down or keep you down. You do have to be aware of that. So as much as I'm kind about eating anything and stuff like that, be aware of your emotional, body. Be aware of your being as you're eating and and how you feeling about it. If you're feeling like you're declining spiritually and you're starting to do more egotistical shit, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, you the fact that you're eating anything is starting to affect your energy, you know what I'm saying? But you know it, it's all up to how you carry yourself. Like only benefit I would see from eating meat would be and it's not to be funny, but like getting a strong sense of aggression and like strong sense of like working out. And two, I would see it more so for something for a male in that case anyway too, but like eating meat for like like to be like I'm the protector, like for that energy. I feel like it does support that to a certain extent, but again, everything in moderation, because it could again push you to a place of being too er to where and that's when people want to put their hands on people that's weaker than them and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, in fact, embodying that that animalistic nature. You know. So in essence, yeah, for a connection to your animalistic nature more. Matter of fact, it made me think of the Golden Compass, how they had like in that little realm, their animal self or lower self was actually like a companion outside their body. They had like a little animal, the little animal self that walked outside of them with them. Yep. Yep, young Phoenix. Just doing what our body tells us in most cases. Not trying to overthink it. But again, like reason why too, I don't like promote the meat situation because too I know it came from when we fell from because say for instance too we move into a place of raising our vibration, so eventually we ain't even gonna really be eating, let alone be eating meat. So that's another reason why a lot of us, and that taps into too, like where, when you're connected to your higher self, you kind of plugged in on what's gonna be happening in the future to a certain extent. That's why when some of us wake up, we got this extremity of like, oh, I gotta be healthy right now because you done caught a glimpse of that future, but like it's like becoming extreme on it. Even down to the fact of like how I once was with preaching to people. I'm like, but like if they don't start becoming a vegan today, it ain't gonna necessarily kill them. You know what I'm saying, quote unquote. As long as they start at some point, because that. But when I first woke, I felt like right now, if everybody don't stop eating meat, you're gonna drop dead in the next 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like it was more from an extreme perspective. Gotta chew it. But yeah, it's the balance. Just find yourself balance. That's what God is. God is it's balance. It's how everything is able to coexist. You know. Oh yeah, the sex drive. Oh yeah, especially with this Mars energy, the sex drive is definitely up there. I was this close from watching some porn the other day. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm like, no, your pineal gland too strong. If you need some assistance, you got a pineal gland for that. Straight up, cause that's what that creates a dependency, just like a drug. You know what I'm saying? Well, like you need porn to get sexually aroused. You know what I'm saying? Or to get into that sexual place. That's why they promote it like that, and then make it seem distasteful so they could scare us away from sex. So you could have all these people that's like, oh, sex is pointless and this and that, not realizing that the laws of the universe, it's about sex. Like I want to see them, have an offspring. Matter of fact, I would like for them to explain how they manifest things without the sexual union of feminine and masculine energy. If sex is so pointless and don't mean nothing, as above, so below. If it's important on the energetic level for masculinity and feminine to come together, you know, I digress. But yeah, matter of fact, too, and I made a video probably a while back about that, but also beware of overeating in the area. Like, so of course you got an ascension symptom of overeating, but also outside of when we have these energy fluctuations, if you find yourself overeating a lot, it's because of lack of sex. You might want to start doing the breathing techniques. I think in most of all my breathing technique videos, and if you just look up universal frequencies and type in technique, it would probably bring up most of those videos. But like, I got videos to speak on how, to allow for that chi energy to flow in a balanced manner in the kind of curve that sex drive, but to a certain extent, because it's all right to, again, to have sex. It's just making sure you dealing with somebody where y'all gonna have a mutual exchange of energy, in essence, where one is not vamping the other, in essence, and where y'all can have this uh, agreement. Because again, there are people that exist. There are men and women. I see just how we all different. There are some of us that exist in this world that could have sex, even women that don't feel uh, like, oh yeah, now, like, I have to love you, and like, and in a manner of, like, again, this relationship love of, like, all right, now, like, we married, like, now it's like, there does exist people who just uh enjoy sex for its healing properties, you know what I'm saying, and connection nonetheless, still a connection, but it's like still at that understanding of not getting too attached. But we all different in that. I really, some people have a vibe where they just have to have a partner, or they have to, whatever. Some of us not like that. You know what I'm saying? Some of us like it's getting boring. Like, somebody else, please. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all different. You know, and the fact that we did operate in a less egoic manner when it came to sex. It wasn't about control and ownership. Matter of fact, I think about the brethren Shatam Nityama. If you go look up his videos, Shantam Nityama. Let's see if I could type. Can I type? Oh dang, I don't know if it's gonna let me type. But he spoke about, like, he's like, shit, like, the women kind of chose their mate, and it was like the man, in essence, like, it wasn't no keeping track of your daddy, you know what I'm saying? It's like the men all kind of was like, unc or whatever, because like nobody knew your daddy, but your mom knew your daddy, you know, and that's all you need. Cause another thing too, that's all egotistical shit. Like, well, you know, no, I gotta know my kid so he could own my property, and my family could do, you know what I'm saying? That's like ownership. Cause when you think about the practicalness of our living, it's like, you know, reproduce, you know, be a village, you know, grow together, learn, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to have all that extra, you know, ownership vibes. Or like, I gotta know who my daddy is. I gotta know you come from the universe. That's who your daddy, right? Your sky dad. But no, like you know, I gotta know who my mom. You know, but like all that is, you know, the ego identity, and it's all right to again have a certain level of ego. You know, I gotta identify with myself enough to know that when I get hungry, instead of sticking the spoon in somebody else's mouth, I stick the spoon in my mouth. So I gotta identify with myself, you know, to an extent, but it's not you know, identifying with myself on a level on that controlling again, like trying to create these identities, you know, like I'm somebody's husband, I'm somebody's wife, I'm, you know, I'm this identity. You know, that's kind of what that's screaming to. And again, uh, to each his own. We all different. So as much as I may be, you know, giving off that vibe of making fun, you know, I don't, you know, to each his own on your vibe. If you want to get married, whatever, whatever, you know. But again, it's about raising the awareness of, you know, how we carry ourselves indigenously, you know, in that manner of like at least having the option to know how you really, you know, were doing things. That way you could at least have the choice, like, all right, do I still want to go about this in a European manner, or do I want to go back to indigenous vibe? You know what I'm saying? Like, at least, you know, explore the option of, you know, getting back to your roots in a sexual manner. And also, as I'm saying that though, a part of our growth is to realize too that even though the ancestors, you know, got certain ancient knowledge, you know, and you know, had these certain things, it's not for us to follow everything and all that they did either. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that uh, a lot of things, you know, like I say, also went wrong in the past. So something quote unquote wrong. You know what I'm saying? But some of the things, you know, from the past, like say for instance, like slavery for existed, you know, for example, you know, it's like, all right, you know, so say for instance, like some little kids born in the year 21,000, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, man, our ancestors, you know, they had slaves and did, you know, but was that, you know, the way to do that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, some things, you know, we borrow from our ancestors, you know, and from the ancient culture, and some things was meant to be ancient. That's why it's ancient, you know. Like there's a reason why, you know, there was a fall, but that fall, in essence, it make it seem like, oh, it's just, you know, it put it like this: it's a constant cycle. So that fall always coming, no matter what you do. You know, in essence, it's always gonna be that little rise and fall. You know, the sine wave. You know, out of these different paradigms. Matter of fact, again, it correlates to the shifting through the waves. You know, but and let me clear up these last few little points to make sure I just get this all out. So right now, too, while some people are ascending, you know, at such a high level, a lot of people are descending at a rapid pace. You know, and it spoke to man, I gotta remember I did a video on it a while back about like these different ages where first good and evil, or how I say, the polarities exist in the man. Then it starts to separate a little bit, and then more and more to the point where you got like the extremely negative people over here and extremely positive people over here. You know what I'm saying? I have to think about. I'll go find that video. Dang, because it definitely spoke to that. But again, right now, it's getting to a place of where, you know, either you with the light, you with the growth, or your body could go back to the earth, and and space could be made for a soul that really want to come down here and really do something. Now, that's why people transition, basically, in essence, other than the fact of, what may be some part, because it is partially your free will, but part your fate. But what I was gonna say, that's trash. I forgot what I was about to say. And some people just saying, well, anyway, it's gonna be a lot of, you know, you're gonna see people on the decline and people on the rise. But what I'm getting to is, we're dealing with people on the decline. Like if you see, because you got people that's not vibrating on the same frequency as you, but they're on the inclination, like they ascending. You know what I'm saying? They going up. They headed the same way as you. They just not there yet. Then you got some people that's like matter of fact, well, they could have been. So say for instance, some people that could have been vibrating close to your frequency, or something, or some of that nature, and seem like they going back, like they going down. You know, it's like also being aware of, that energy. Like don't allow yourself to be pulled down, because like now is that time. Like people gonna be trying to pull on coattails. Like don't let yourself become an energy vamp to somebody trying to pull themselves up at the last minute. You work too hard to keep your energy, on point. You know what I'm saying? The meditating and eating and all these things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm at least speaking it like that. If y'all ain't doing all that yet, you gonna get there, whatever. But you work too hard for that to just allow for you to just squander it away just because somebody else don't want to do the work. Because that's also what's happening too. Like they vamping off you because they not trying to do the work fully. You know what I'm saying? They want to fuck with you to a certain extent, but not really do the work. So it's like, oh yeah, I hear what you're saying, this and that, but like not really doing it. Like, hey, I said, you should be meditating, do this, that. But it just seemed like, again, like they go in the opposite direction. So that's seeing that. That's why too the polarizing energies of. That's why so that's why the stuff with the news and the Donald Trump stuff. Why it's becoming more and more obvious that the little fuckery of that whole little game. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to get like literally like watching like a soap opera or like real TV. Like I mean, because it always been real TV, but now you're getting to see like how fake that shit is. You know what I'm saying? Because the real and the truth is getting closer to its place and its high point, and then that bullshit getting closer and closer to its low point. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of that happening right now as well. But yeah, that's why too our spiritual growth does have that little undertone of seriousness. Like as much as we talk about going with the flow and let it be play and this and that. It in the background it does have that little subtle seriousness of like, yeah, but I ain't gonna let these motherfuckers take me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna interact and you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do me, but yeah, I ain't going back. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of got like that little, again, just a little undertone, not really a fear, but just again, like just a realization of the seriousness of the situation without letting it being overwhelming. Because again, you shouldn't be like overly serious, like you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're really not going nowhere. Like even if, so say for instance, even for the people who's not ascending right now, that's going, the energy still is in source. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it come back, you know, okay, they lose their identity, but it could come back as a drop of water, a cockroach, you know, as a, you know, a piece of the clouds or what. You know what I'm saying? Like you're still there until, you know, another time come with opportunity to come for you to embody some consciousness and be in the body again. But again, that's another thing too though. Like that's why I shouldn't be too serious, you know, like just, you know, do the best, you know. If not, you know, you're really not going nowhere in essence. But for the most part, a lot of us just don't want to deal with that option, right? You know. But that's basically it, y'all. Let me see what y'all talking about. I've been just running my mouth. Cool, y'all been going in. I see visualizations, sex magic. Toward Indigo, you might have to work on those lower chakras, you know, and you may have an energetic block. You know, I can't. In fact, so on a consultation level, this will be where I would ask you, you know, how were your sexual experiences, you know, coming up? Like, because a lot of times, especially with females, you know, you may have some trauma, you know, whether it's some guy, you know, abuse you or did some old foolishness or certain or some type of situation that, you know, put some type of trauma on your sacral chakra, you know. Carnelian and snowflake obsidian, work with that. See how that works for you. You know, and have the intention of, you know, of seeing and releasing, you know, whatever the hindering energies, you know, out of your lower chakras, you know, like feel light going into your sacral area, you know, into that wound area, you know, clearing out. As a matter of fact, with me saying that now it's official. I gotta definitely start doing consultations. I've been dodging it for too long. Which dodging it from a professional, you know, like, hey, like I'm somebody you could consult, like, you know. But I've been doing it, you know, indirectly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been a consultant shit before I even knew what it was. You know. So it's just now it's just like, all right, now I could actually receive some financial energy, you know, back for the time energy that I put in. Bronze Queen, you don't wish it would die. All right, that's what y'all talk about. Yeah, the visualizations doing the orgasms. Yep. Like again, I would rather not do sex magic by myself, but I have had to pull off some solo sex magic before. You know, it is what it is. That's the whole thing too. Is again, man, just be, you know what I'm saying? Like these dogmatic things got you kind of scared, you know. You know, that's the whole thing too, with like a lot of Aleister Crowley vibe, you know, being promoted as the beast and he's so scary. And like they promote him as that while they backdoor and like, you know, study him and know, you know, what was really going on. But which, you know, he was just dealing with the sex magic on a high level. and high level to a certain extent, because again, it was just a lot of self-proclaiming this, self-proclaiming that, you know. So he was down with the Masons and that whole vibe as well. Oh, with people who coming back around, like so it may be like as a checkpoint in essence, like like if they did do some fucked up shit in the past, and maybe they coming back around because it's time for like where they didn't really mean it or whatever, and it's time for you to heal that situation. It could be somebody coming back up, you know, to make sure that you let that boundary be set that yeah, we don't need to be vibing with each other, you know what I'm saying? And it's just coming back up for you to be strong in that area, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes a lot of us not strong in telling somebody, hey bro, I think we just don't need to be vibe, you know what I'm saying? So that person could be coming up so you could, because again, that's part of a shadow in essence, is like running away from telling people what you got to tell them. So that person may be showing up because of that as well. Have I ever had water vision? No, I haven't had water vision. Matter of fact, let me make sure I don't get too far off. I think I talked about everything with the Ascension symptoms. Yeah, that's basically it. So I'm gonna finish up with these questions. I kind of get what you're saying, CK Nelson. I think I done kind of visual see like had that vibe, that visual. Oh, blessings, hollow smoke. Yeah, porn is to extend the energy taking, and I mean, you got certain stories playing out in the reality behind the little fake reality that they staging on the scene. You got some of these girls that really don't want to fucking do this scene, but because she trying to pay her tuition or whatever, you know. And again, I'm real sensitive to internet. I could read shit through TV screens, like to the point where I tell people, with my little human beef I had with Jay Z, I'm like, where he had this thing of like using Biggie verses, and I knew he was using it to like because of Biggie popularity, and people remember those verses, so it's like indirectly using that fame to kind of boost itself, and then once like with anything when we get caught up in our hand a cookie jar, oh I was just doing it because of this, or I was just whenever we have to explain ourselves, we basically did what was claimed in essence. But it's like, oh, I only did that to bigging up my brother. But long story short, like when he was doing that, I could read like this fool only really doing this, for the marketing strategy of it. Same thing when he retired. I was like, but and two, realizing now the reason why, I dislike Jigga from that egotistical place, because I dislike that energy within myself, because I got that same slickster and, could play the game just like Jay Z and me, you know what I'm saying? And I guess because I was in a place of being like that super righteous underdog vibe, and just the way, that was, I just didn't like that aspect of myself, you know what I'm saying? But again, I could feel what was truly being, the true intent behind using those verses, so you could say whatever, but I felt, you know what I'm saying? But again, I digress. That's some old human shit to be petty about that, but I did have that vibe about that. But again, it's feeling stuff through the screen. So with that porn, like I could feel that this girl really didn't want to do this scene and that she wished she could be everywhere else but in that. So how could I get off to that? You know what I'm saying? Like it it don't work. You know. In fact, the closest I could do to some porn is probably like amateur or like a one-on-one, you know, where at least, you know, the vibe is more genuine, you know, it's not, you know, nobody being forced or nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like a whole different vibe. Yeah. Sure. Yep, in essence, kush whoosh, sex creating a reflection of yourself. And again, an orgasm up to 3 hours is not just for reproduction. It's not just reproduction purposes. Again, people, we gotta realize that we take this idea of I gotta be all the way on this side or this side. We take that into everything we do when we're not conscious of it. It's like I'm either hate sex or I'm a like sex. Like why you can't be balanced? You know, you deal with it when it's beneficial. Don't deal with it when it's not beneficial. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's this extreme, this side or that side. That's the whole problem that we're moving away from, you know what I'm saying? Which that's why a lot of people fluctuate through that energy though, you know. It's like bringing it out to the light of that battle within yourself, like how you got these polarization, you know, because the outside universe is a representation of what's going on inside you. So you got these little polarizing. I want to be way over here with it, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, you know, to be balanced. You know, I constantly get shown that in my growth when I try to get to in that high vibrational state. Shit, source to send somebody interrupt a meditation. Like on some shit like, you try to get too back into the cloud, you know what I'm saying? Like, be here with it too, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to polarize your experience. You know, and you start to realize, and then all those years of like where you think about where you might have cursed out God or fuck God or you know this and that. Now you see how hard the job is or how difficult it is to balance a lot of things out. And that's just you as this little small human body. Imagine being vast allness with a bunch of little motherfuckers in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it takes a lot of balance. You gotta be strong. You gotta be strong. You know what I'm saying? To balance yourself out. To not be lazy and say, I'ma just fucking let the sun shine on their ass all the time. Fuck it and burn them up. Like, that's easy, you know? Like, it's easy for me to just be extreme meditator. Or it's easy for me to just say fuck it all and just sit around and drinking alcohol. But it takes balance to meditate when I need to take a little sip every night. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance. It's a balance. Key love you. Laughing at what I said earlier. And then for females, I ain't gonna lie though, y'all got it better. Y'all could tap like it ain't nothing for you to kind of just, you know, play with your clitoris and tap into that energy right quick. Say you be in a little public place right quick and act like you got your purse on your lap and be done. Visualize some things and you know, but it be love. Uh, how I say, I'm a reflection of you. So if that's how you feel about myself, then you must be the same team. Yeah, it's yeah, I could see it. Maybe not on no high magic level, but in some way, like channeling, I don't know, some type of, negative energy or something, like to put them into that mode of the scene. Yeah, CK Nelson, that's what a download. So when we speak of downloads, like, I got videos that speak to that, and I'm organizing my playlist so people can get straight to what they're looking for. But yeah, download is clear, cognizant thought. You got like your thoughts where I'm sitting here and I'm like, what video I'm gonna do later on. I could do it about this or that. You know, like you're going through it, sifting. That's your thoughts. That's you peddling through your thoughts. Then you got this vibe of like you just chilling, and then all of a sudden, bam, out of the blue, you just get some shit like Dr. Sebi really did this and found out that this and that, and when he did this, like a whole paragraph of information just kind of come to you out of the blue, and it does like resonate with you like on some like where you feel the truth or the reality of it, in essence. As a matter of fact, speaking of truth and reality, matter of fact, blessings to Baba Phil Valentine for bringing that to my awareness with it's about speaking on reality and not necessarily a truth, because a truth could be manipulated, a truth could be created in essence, just like how Constantine tried to turn Jesus into a true historical character, you know what I'm saying? So like the reality. But yeah, download, that's what a download is. It's just like a little clear cognizant, thought out of the blue in essence. That just comes down. Where you just know, like, cause it too in a lot of cases it may sometimes it'll deal with like this, how I say, closely related to the subject matter of something you're dealing with, but sometimes it'll be like complete left field, like like bam, I'm talking to y'all, and then just like Allen Iverson #3 was this and that because and it's like, all right, like thanks for that one, high. So you know what I'm saying, like it just be some, again, like just a random, you know, and it comes very quick and strong. Matter of fact, if you check out that video where I talk about identifying or recognizing your inner voice, like your inner intuition or that inner source, and I spoke on like how it's like to explain this noise is kind of like the equivalent of like an elephant like walking, like crawling, like an elephant crawling in a trail in a trailer home. You know what I'm saying? Like that's in essence the loudness of the voice of your inner voice. Cause like say for like with a big elephant, like taking this. I'm talking about barely, not really making any noise. You know what I'm saying? But you could feel its presence. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine being in a trailer, in a trailer, little mobile home, with an elephant. And you know how we feel energy, where you're not even looking at it. You know, hearing why, it's subtle. You might hear like a little something, like you might hear his little foot touch the ground a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Very subtle noise, but I could feel that something big is here, or with me, or that's that inner voice, from your source, like your egoic mind will usually be just the one yapping the loudest without any, strong feel to it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely have that vibe. Yup. Yup. Deja vu. Yeah. Bobby, man, that's a dog. Yeah, I feel like I done had some little connections, like talking to the brethren over soul, or like, because in essence, a lot of times when we communicate outside of our bodies, we could communicating with our higher selves to our higher selves, and for a person to recognize that in their body, they gotta be, matter of fact, doing the works. Whether it's if you're not eating healthy, then doing your alchemical work, but whatever opens your vessel up to being able to receive these messages. Because I realize, like, well, you may conversate with somebody over soul, but because they're disconnected from their own over soul, like their pineal may be calcified, but yours not. So you're tapped into your higher self and communicating with their higher self, but because they not tapped in, like, oh wait, what, you talk to me, and in which that's not the only case, because they also have cases of I see, like, where females have this vibe of, like, where they talk about connecting with brethren in that realm, connecting with a brethren higher self or higher soul, but then when they come to the human part of them, it's like they don't know or remember or recognize what happened. I'm like, maybe, because you know y'all sexual energy is in a more high vibratory state, and I don't know, maybe it's something to do with the female energy, you know, in essence, having a high, not say high frequency in essence, but like, just being able to tap into that realm because of, again, like that high nature on a sexual level, but yeah, you definitely had that vibe of, where you could connect to somebody, communicate, but it depends on how clean or open their vessel is to receiving that message, on whether they will get it not or not in a human form. Yeah, yeah. Rock, bless, bless. Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely, and that's what all of it. You know what I'm saying? Because in essence, with me sharing my what I go through, and sharing information, as people could relate directly to some situations that I might have went through. That's why, sharing on some no holds barred type of vibe. Well, again, like, I could talk about masturbating, sex magic by myself, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, where in the other cases, like, well, that's not something that's proper to talk about, because the the average fan or person or this and that watching YouTube. It's like, nah, bro, you know what I'm saying? I do get the vibe of wanting to not make yourself seem like you're this crazy person that's just all every, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when you know what you are and how you vibing, like, you shouldn't have to filter expressing yourself so much, you know. Like, just say or do what it is that you want to do or say. That's also speaking to myself, because I had the moments for myself. Much love and light. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm going back to Cali. In fact, the only reason why I ain't just up and left yet, but nah, because I'm indulging, enjoying, this part of my journey, uh, soaking up all this little homie vibe that I can, because I know when I leave here this next time it's gonna be a longer while before I be back. So it's like really enjoying people presence in the human form, because again it is about that balance, enjoying each other in the human form. We are trying to get to this place of like, I'm gonna be high vibrational, and again, it's cool for us to tap into telepathy, you know but again, moderation and everything, where the reptilians, because their telepathy was on such a high level, they lack empathy. Reason why they lack empathy, or should I say compassion. Reason why they lack compassion, because say for instance, if I'm always connected to your ass, you know what I'm saying, how could I feel some type of compassion or miss you if I'm always connected, streamline connected to you at all times. It's like, how could I miss you? I have some compassion, motherfucker. I was just hearing your thoughts just a few seconds ago. It's like, so it's like, a balance. Having our abilities, but to a certain extent. Yep, yep. Yep. Yeah, Young Phoenix. It's an arrangement of stardust. And again, it's a balance to that situation too. Some people are in their bodysuits on a level where they don't know of their higher existence, but then some of us are in our bodysuits in a balanced manner, you know, where we know of our higher self and know of our higher existence. Because I had to realize that too, as much as you want to operate on such a high vibrational place of not identifying with things, we are like, so say for instance, now is the vibrate. It's all about right now. What you in right now? Human body right now. You know, right now, I'm not about to turn back into stardust. Right now, you know, again, I look a certain way, you know, and with all this being said, a balance. Not to look at our egos, our identities on a level of, you know, hating each other or being against each other, but we do have a uniqueness for a reason, and it's that reverse racism psychology that came up with that. I don't see color, or I don't see no differences. Nah, it's all right to see the differences. It's just don't let the differences separate. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, a balance. Like everybody want to be like, oh well, no, I just can't. I'm not gonna see no color, no. But like, no, that's not reality. Now you off somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come back to the balance of the thing. And that doesn't mean to be way over here like fuck everybody, or I hate you if you don't look like me, or you gotta look like me for me to interact. You know what I'm saying? Not to be extreme on that level. This is all a little test for us. You know what I'm saying? Yep, right. Matter of fact, I didn't even see you say that, Rock. But yeah, but the name and ethnicity is a part of the experience. Like we gotta stop getting to these vibes. And that's why what that is a matter of fact, it's a battle of your higher self and your lower self battling, having a battle between each other, and it personifies outside of yourself. We're trying to balance those two aspects. Balance the masculine and feminine. No, balance the fact of us being one and a part of everything, but also being in little individual bodysuits as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not walking around as one big Siamese twin, so we can't act like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, like, people are like, oh yeah, it's oneness and this and that. But yeah, that's to an extent, like, it's real. And again, you get to see like how we go through our growth, where you kind of first open them high chakras, so you in that one, but but then that microcosm got to rotate back down to the root chakra, and then you remember, like, all right, yeah, I'm also here in my body though too. It's like I'm not just in the clouds. You know, I'm not just in the earth. I'm everywhere. I'm both. A balance. Again, like, whenever you find yourself reaching for extreme, just know you kind of taking yourself away from you creating a battle within yourself that's going to create a battle outside of yourself. Who creating, the reason again why all this shit going on outside of us is because we got a battle going on inside of us that we trying to get straight. Like we working on getting straight. I don't like using that word try, but we working on that energy within us, and that's going to manifest outside of us as well. But if I'm sitting there and hate the old aspect of me that used to that got in trouble selling dope, or if I hate the old aspect of me that used to make sugar sandwiches, if I hate the old aspect of me that like getting drunk and going to the club, then that's gonna personify where I'm gonna dislike those reflections outside of me, and I'm gonna always be at war with myself. You know what I'm saying? Literally and figuratively speaking. You know what I'm saying? You're at war with yourself inside of yourself, so it turns to a war with yourself outside of yourself. You know, simple, simple. And again, y'all remember, uh, send donations to the PayPal link. No super chats if this video if this video warranted a donation, that is. If not, it's all love regardless. Gotta speak up. Gotta speak up for the coins. You know what I'm saying? There's a balance. I think of like some of Bobby Hemmett videos, and then too a recent Phil Valentine video on Brother Rich. Matter of fact, shout out to Brother Rich and the Black Magic 363. I think it's 363. Yep. The Black Magic channel. But Phil Valentine was like, I did enough for feeding other people's family, as far as like his videos being shared, for free, stuff like that. It's like I gotta share this and gotta feed my own family. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make a little, like in a little sarcastic, not sarcastic, but like I gotta make a little bit for myself. Like in order for me to spit out all these, you know, all this information, I gotta be able to have a roof under my head and take care of myself. I can't study chakras and all that, or really be grounded in my experience if I'm unstable with my living. That's why with me, with my videos now, I got more of a grounded vibe to my videos, because I'm able to sit and really set them up and go through the motions, compared to where in LA I had less grounding, and I had grounding, but just less compared to having your own home, in essence. But I digress. Yeah, and that's where as a growth, you feel like humans need more. You know, I feel like humans are right where they at. Now, I get what you're saying, but two, we need to stop feeling like humans need to do, like, of course we put our in it, and if we feel that something needs to be done, we gotta do it inside ourselves and, share information and make people aware, that help in that manner. Straight up. Oh yeah, Young Phoenix. I like to stay in that cosmic super oneness as well, but then I realized, you know, like right. I touch the screen. You hear that? We also here in this body too. Part of us liking to be in that cosmic sauce is being scared to be grounded, be honest. Like we run away from any aspect of this reality. We in essence kind of fearing a certain aspect of ourselves. We may not want to admit it, because matter of fact, I keep it real. When you get in this identity of, oh, I'm so spiritual, I'm supposed to be this far in my spiritual growth, I should never have to go through that again. Like, beware of that vibe. Like, you always realize, like, it's more to things than what we just kind of sometimes get fixated on, you know. It's a little more to the story. Yep, chance war be the change you wanna see. If you wanna see change. Yep. Can't deny what once was. That's why I'm back home. Matter of fact, I'm about to go to the stadium and enjoy myself with my classmate. Be on the balanced in my vibration. They go to talking too negative, this and that. I speak up like, nah, I ain't dealing with all that old talking about people like y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? Be like again, or like say for when they go to speaking negative, I could be like that weak empath, like, oh, they're going to speak negative around me. I can't take it or I can't. And of course, I understand, protecting our energy, but God is everything. God is strong. Just look at the fact of all this interconnected and all. You gotta be strong to keep all this together. So you gotta, in essence, mirror yourself to that same strength. Watch my YouTube channel, Sky Caesar. That's my wisdom for you. And me being funny to show you that's one thing. Spiritual growth is something that is serious in essence, but not to be taken too serious to where you're not having fun with it. Remember that. And that's basically it. Soak up any information, anything that you're tweaking to learn about. Just go searching for it. You know what I'm saying? I first came across the video spirit science, like for my little awakening on the informational level. When I had my informational awakening, because I always been again awoke. So I've been 5 years old knowing that, like, what they're telling me about religion was some bullshit. So the sauce been dripping. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, with when I first got my information, and I came across it talked about chakras, and the video talk about crystals, and from there I'm like, hit up Google, hit up the bookstore, stopping at a Barnes and Nobles, going in the little section, seeing, it just start. it's like it all comes from your thirst for knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell people like, I ask questions and stuff like that, but I was thirsty for knowledge, so I wasn't sitting there trying to get somebody to just, hey, teach me everything. Or and I'm not saying that's what you're doing right now in this moment, Sky Caesar, but some people have that vibe like, oh, just teach me everything. Or even when you come across some people where they'll hear you speaking the information and then they'll kind of hop into their ego, well, how I'm supposed to do it, or just show me how, show me everything about it. Like, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? The reason why you are where you're at spiritually right now is because you don't want to help yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's a lesson within itself. Like you gotta work, like gotta put in your own little work. But indirectly, I hope that was some little wisdom for your Sky Season. Yep, yep. But yeah, talking about somebody behind their back as just an energetic, I never could do that. Matter of fact, and seeing how I had this consciousness without even knowing, and like clear cognizant, like all that, like just realizing it. Once I got words for it, but yeah, I would always like when people go to talking about somebody around me, this and that. Like I would never, the most you could get is like a little, you know, a little laugh because I didn't just want to create that extreme like disconnect in essence. But I definitely wouldn't vibe with people talking about somebody else behind their back. You know what I'm saying? To the point where sometimes I would even jokingly tell them people like, "Well, yeah, you should say that when they come around." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about them behind their back. And I remember my last job, I used to tell them straight up though. I'd be like, "Bro, look, I ain't in y'all little," because at that point I was meditating, eat. So for sure it was like, nah, you miss me with that. So and so like to put this a certain way because I'm like, go talk to somebody else about that bullshit. I don't do that. Straight up. Yeah, man. Just cereal. Today is definitely a work day. But I love my job. I love it. So I'm not really working. Yeah, nope. Yeah, whoever did kudos to whoever did the spirit science videos or whatever. Like their souls or that soul body, they definitely there's no coincidence that spirit science was there when it was, and how it, just presented itself is like there's no coincidence on that one. Uh, I just did a video on weed, on matter of fact on cannabis. Matter of fact, because I spoke on how they're trying to. Matter of fact, and just go look up my videos on cannabis. I don't have. That's another thing. Like again, there's no yay or nay. It's like it's a wholeness of a situation. Herb has some beneficial things and it has some unbeneficial things. Everything has its pros and its cons. I don't have the actual cannabis playlist set up, but if you search universal frequencies and weed, cannabis, like I definitely tag all my videos, mostly all of them. I'm pretty sure out of the 900 of my videos, maybe like it's possible that 15 or 10 of them untagged. I make sure I tag them. I even did a video about explaining to people the importance of tagging, hashtagging, whether it's on Instagram or whatever. That helps to It's just, matter of fact, it's just like a little collective conscious, you know. So when somebody look up something, or if you tag your material with a certain name, then when they look up this certain name, your material pop up too. You know? People wonder, matter of fact, like a strategy, like I tag my videos close to other people's videos, you know what I'm saying? If I know I'm talking on a subject matter close to, you know, say for instance with crystals, a hibiscus moon, or you know, a subject matter of what you know, young pharaoh or brother Pan, you know, like I tag it in that manner as well. So when somebody go look at their videos, you know, one of mine will pop up because it's talking to some, you know, subject matter that runs close to what they, you know, dealing with more. So, you know, when somebody's looking for information on this, like, it'll come up in that area. No such thing as bad and good. Starting early in the game. Phantom Armada, go look at the Hermetic principles. Go learn and research about that. By not just be, I mean, all you could do is be with what is, you know, and do the best to work on it from there. You know, meditation, but, you know, feeling like you're about to self destruct, you know, how do you feel inner peace when you're feeling like it's. When I sit down and not try to fight it. So like when I think of moments where like it felt like negative thoughts were popping up, or I just felt like, you know, I wanted to do videos, but I couldn't. Like, you know, I just felt like a battle going on inside me. I just go sit down somewhere. Like, don't try to fight yourself. Just go sit down somewhere. You know, all you could do is self what is, because the fact remains that you feel like you're about to self-destruct in this moment. So you gotta accept what is, you know, and do the best from there. In which, in most cases, is really doing nothing or meditate. You know, but you know, it's not trying to topple over, you know, that feeling by trying to go do some extra, you know what I'm saying, in essence. But which we, to each his own, we all different though, because you could find some inner peace by doing something that could take your mind off of, because another thing too, you may just be, may be part of the mind that, you know, that's thinking about this vibe and less of a feeling, you know what I'm saying? And by you indulging in certain activities, you know what I'm saying? Like if I was to up and go play basketball and I had a certain thought on my mind, yeah, the first few shots I would still be thinking about whatever was bothering me, but by the time I get into the game, it's like, nah, I'm in the game. Like, oh shit, I gotta win, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, time passed and I wasn't even thinking about that. And that's what it is. You're creating, what it is about, it's all about your now. And right now you want to make your now as pleasurable as you could make it. You know what I'm saying? And with the vibe of, again, just looking for the inner peace, meditation, not just, you know, sitting somewhere and just not, you know, or finding that activity to take your mind somewhere else. Yep, yep. How you gonna say cannabis not spiritual anymore? That's your perception and your point of view, because it may not be spiritual for you at this point right now. That statement is not a true statement. Again, where you see there's no good or bad, right or wrong, that's all your perception. Weed bad. Why? Because when you smoked it, you had a bad experience. You know what I'm saying? It's like, A psychedelic's bad. Why? Because you had a fucking, and I even know, not even, in most cases, not even a bad trip because you didn't know you was going through your demons, at the beginning of your trip. So you thought it was monsters attacking you. It's like, all these just stamping things. Like again, human identity. I gotta put a marker on it. I gotta stamp it with one identity. Like, what are you, vegan? I'm nothing. Oh no, you gotta be something. I gotta stamp you with this identity marker. Like, what you is? You Muslim or you Rasta? What you is, so I can stamp you with the, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the part where I get what who was talking about, like where people get too, again, like too in the ego and too into identity. That's the example of it right there. In essence, it's like I got to identify you as something. I got to identify for the sake of the my ego. You know, but yeah, I spoke to that Phantom Armada. All of it is not grown in that manner, but yes, a majority of it is grown in that manner. That is true to a certain extent. Cause I ain't gonna lie, it depends on where you at. You in Northern Cali, if you live in Humboldt, somebody would feel like everything. Matter of fact, show you again the perception. Somebody from Humboldt, California would say blasphemy. You know what I'm saying? Strongly so, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a different perception there around it in a different manner, a different experience, so they could speak, from that place. Compared to all of us who may not be around people who growing it in that manner and this and that. So it's like, oh, we bad because of the people around me not growing it right. Johnny boy, you must not be must be new to the family. Yeah, to answer your question again, yes, I do smoke herb from time to time. You're not a fan, you're a family member. But nah, I get it. Not to be all corny, like, of course we all family, but I get what you're saying. Like, I appreciate the blessings and love. Man, hey, go get your young Pharaoh on, cause I'm almost done anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm about done. Of course, I felt the difference, Tori. Which I mean, in essence, I only like nobody out here in essence grow. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's allowed to grow. You know what I'm saying? It's illegal. You get to see that. That's what a reality setting of how this country fucked up is like. Well, we're not allowed to grow a plant that heals everybody where I'm from. you know, as a massa get mad if I was to grow some of that herb plant. You know what I'm saying? And I'm joking with that. Of course, we're not putting ourselves into that vibe, but it's all just joke. you know, blessings. Feeling great. Devin Malik, blessings. Yeah. Peace out. Peace out. And I'm about to be out myself because it's just speaking to Ascension symptoms. Uh, know how certain parts of the body, certain organs deal with certain energies. Recap right quick before I go. The lungs dealing with courage, the kidneys dealing with gentleness, the liver dealing with kindness, the heart dealing with love, joy, and happiness, and the spleen dealing with fairness. And again, this is just small, main, general, areas that it deal with, but organs deal with more. You know, these certain organs deal with more than just these aspects I brought up, but those are the main things that it deal with. And again, like if you caught the hives recently, you know, that's just a energetic surge, and is also a sign of getting rid of letting go of like letting go of a certain fear and dealing with your emotions. It kind of frees you up emotionally, you know, letting go and getting past a certain fear, you know, a certain blockage. And you may get excuse me, you may get the highs from that. But that's basically it, y'all. You know, remember, just be the greatest you could be in the moment. You know, of course, you know, you want to take your spiritual growth a little seriousness, but you know, you're not serious to the point of where, you know, anyway, I digress. I'm gonna have to set up some moderators or something like that when I start doing live videos, so we can make sure we keep certain energies out of the streams. Well, peace, y'all. Happy now. Now's a vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the past. Not going too far in the future. Right now. Peace.